Alrighty. Wow. Thank you again so much for being here tonight and for joining me for an hour of beginner-friendly Vinyasa. My name is Sona. When you're ready, you can begin to find a comfortable seated position. You can breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. Just breathe naturally. You can close your eyes or you can soften your gaze. You can sit tall. You can find a slight tuck in your chin. You just take a few more moments to allow yourself to arrive on your mat tonight. Alrighty, we can bring some movement to the breath. So on your next inhale, you can reach your arms out and up overhead as you reach up tall. Then exhale, release your palms back down at the pace of your exhale. Inhale your arms out and up overhead. Exhale, release. You take one more of these at your own pace of breath. Then from here, you'll take one more. Inhale your arms out and up. Reach up tall. And this time, exhale, fold forward. So you reach your fingertips down in front of you. Walk your fingertips out and away. As you tuck your chin, take a nice round of breath. And then you can walk your hands back up. And from here, you can switch the leg that you have in front and come back to a seated position. With your hands on your knees, we'll take a few seated cat-cow breaths. So on your next inhale, lean your chest forward and then look up. Exhale, round your spine back and tuck your chin. Inhale as you lean forward and look up. Exhale, round your spine back. You can take a few more of these as you inhale forward. Exhale, round back. As you warm up your spine, connect your breath with your movement. You can take a few sacrum circles from here. If you inhale, rotate your chest around to the front. Then exhale as you round back to make a circle. So you inhale, round forward, and exhale, round back. So you keep warming up your spine. Find your breath. Then you can go both directions. You exhale, round back, and then inhale, forward. And then you can come back to a neutral seated position. We'll take another fold. So inhale your arms up overhead. Exhale, fold forward gently. As you walk your fingertips away from you and find a slight tuck in your chin. You take a nice round of breath. And then you can walk your hands back up. From here, you can sit tall. We'll do our neck rolls. So as you sit up tall, relax your shoulders down, and then bring your chin down toward your chest. Take an inhale. And then exhale, roll your head to the side, your ear down toward your shoulder. Inhale, back down through center. Exhale, roll your head to the other side. You can inhale back down through center and then exhale sides. A few more times. You can take any other motion that feels good for your head and neck here. So keep breathing. Find your breath. Keep sitting up tall. Okay. Then from here, we'll do our wrist stretch. So you can hold your right arm out in front of you, and then you can gently hold onto your fingertips and just pull your fingertips down and then in toward your body. You can pull on your pinky, you can pull on your pointer finger, gently move side to side, and then when you're ready, you can release. You can gently flip your fingers up, and then gently pull your fingers back toward you as much as feels good. You can go side to side a little bit, and you can release. You can circle it out, and then we'll do the left side. So you can hold your left hand out. You can gently pull your fingers down and then inward toward you. You can pull your pinky, pull your pointer finger gently. You can always bend your elbows. And then you can release. And we'll flip those fingers up. You can find your wrist stretch on this side, side to side gently. Keep breathing, keep sitting tall. Alrighty, and you can circle it out, you can release, you can do double circle for a moment. Alrighty, shake it out, and then we'll make our way to tabletop. Hands and knees. So, your wrists will come underneath your shoulders, and then your knees underneath your hips. We'll do a few more cat-cows to warm up the spine. So on your next inhale, drop your belly, open up your chest and look up. Exhale, round your spine back, tuck your chin. On your next inhale, drop your belly, look up. And exhale, so you curl your spine, tuck your chin. You can take a few more of these at your own pace of breath. Alrighty, from here, we'll do a stretch for the shoulders, and for when you're sitting down at your table for a long time, it's a really good stretch to do for all the computer and desk time. So from here, you take your right foot out, so it is coming out to the side, so your hip is open, if that feels okay. So your right foot is coming out, and then you can inhale your right arm up and overhead. Inhale, look up. Exhale, release back down, and then you can release your foot back into your tabletop. And we'll try the other side. So from here, take your left foot out to the side, and then inhale your left arm up and overhead. Make like a capital letter T with your hands. Maybe look up, find your breath. And then exhale, release back down to tabletop. You can release your foot. Alrighty, now from here you can find your downward facing dog. So you can tuck your toes and then begin to unbend your knees as you push your hips up and back. You can always keep a generous bend in your knees. You can bend one knee and then the other. Pedal it out. Then notice your head as you drop your head down through your arms. So the top of your head is traveling down toward the ground and you're looking at your knees. Keep breathing. Notice your hands. Make sure your hands are parallel to each other. Your fingertips spread wide. And you push down through your fingertips, through your pointer finger, push down through your pinky, which helps release the pressure on your wrists. Alrighty, bend your knees, look at the space between your hands, and make your way as you hop or step your feet forward to a forward fold. We'll stay here for a few moments for our first fold. Your feet should be parallel to each other. They can be all the way touching, or they can be hip-width distance apart, anywhere in between. You can nod your head, yes and no. Relax your neck. And you can always keep a bend in your knees, especially for these first folds. You can even bend one knee and then the other, like you do in down dog. You can clasp opposite elbows for a ragdoll pose, which helps you stretch your thoracic spine a little more, your mid-spine. You can sway side to side gently. So you let gravity pull you down as much as feels good tonight. Alrighty, on your next inhale, find your halfway lift as you bring your hands to your shins, squeeze your shoulder blades together. Take a nice inhale, and then exhale, release back down to fold for a moment, and then over the course of a few rounds of breath, you can slowly rise all the way up to standing. You can let your head and shoulders be the last thing to come up. You can step your feet hip-width distance apart. Lift up all 10 toes and then place them back down. Find a micro bend in your knees so you engage your inner thighs. Think about engaging your core so you lift up tall like you're trying to look over the fence at something just a little bit taller than you. And then find a tuck in your chin. Find your breath. Mountain pose. All right, from here we'll go through our flow. You inhale, reach your arms out and up overhead. You can find a gentle back bend if you want to. And then exhale, swan dive down to fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands and step both of your feet back to plank pose. We'll hold our plank for a little while, just for our first plank. You can always modify, come to your knees if you want to. So notice your hands. Make sure your hands are parallel to each other. Your fingertips spread wide. Your wrists are under your shoulders. And then if you're doing the full version of plank, your heels kick back over your toes. And then you shine your chest forward slightly. Find your breath, look down. And on your next exhale, you can lower down through chaturanga as you lower all the way down through your tummy. You can release your feet. Inhale, chest opener of choice. You can start with a baby cobra if you want to, lifting your head and shoulders gently. Keeping shoulders relaxed down. Look down for a neutral neck and then tuck your toes. Downward facing dog. So you push your hips up and back. Drop your head down through your arms. You can always walk your dog. So you bend one knee and then the other. Alrighty. And then from here, you can let your right leg fly. So you extend your right leg behind you. See if you can keep your hips squared down toward the mat. and your shoulders squared toward the mat. Use your core. You can hold your leg here. You can bring your knee in. We'll do a few knee crunches from here. So on your next inhale, bring your knee into your chest. Hover your knee to your chest. And then inhale, kick your leg back out behind you. Then inhale, knee to chest. We'll do it 3 more times. Then exhale, kick your leg back out. Then knee to chest, hover your knee. Exhale, back out. Knee to chest, back out. Okay, last time. Knee to chest. This time, plant your foot in between your hands. And then with a strong core, sweep your arms up. Find yourself in a lunge position or make your way to a lunge position with your right leg in front. You can let your back heel come up off the mat. You can extend your arms up overhead, or you can bring your arms to your sides. You can find a gazing point, maybe something on the floor or the wall that's not moving that you can gaze upon as you find your breath. Settle in here for a few more moments. You can always adjust your stance. Also, you can always scooch that back foot up closer. You can always widen your front foot out wider. Or you could lift your right heel, whoop, if you like more of a challenge pose, only if you want to. Alrighty. One last good moment here in your crescent lunge. If you want, the final expression of crescent lunge is to find a gentle back bend or chest opener. If you want, you can bring your arms to the side for cactus arms. And then you can gently open up your chest, maybe look up. Keep breathing. Alrighty, good job. You can release your arms, step your feet together. You can shake your legs out. You can come to the top of your mat. And we'll go through our flow. You can meet us in down dog if you want to. Inhale your arms out and up overhead. Exhale, swan dive down to fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step your feet back to plank or modified plank. And on your next exhale, lower down through chaturanga. Inhale, chest opener of choice. And exhale, downward facing dog. You can walk it out, walk your dog. Or if at any point during this practice you need more of a rest pose, you can always drop your knees to the mat and find your child's pose. It is available to you at any time. Alrighty, from here we'll do that on the other side. So from your down dog, you can let your left leg fly. We'll do those knee crunches if you want to. You have the option to bring your knee to your chest, hover your knee to your chest. Then exhale, kick your leg back out. We'll do it 3 more times. Knee to chest. Then exhale, back out. Knee to chest. Exhale, back out. 1 more time, knee to chest. And then you can plant your foot in between your hands. Make your way to a lunge position. And then with a strong core, sweep your arms up. Whoop, for your crescent lunge. This time with your left foot forward. You can settle into this side. You can always scooch your back foot up closer. You can widen your front foot out wider. You can lift that front heel, only if you want to. So you practice Settling in here for a moment. Find that gazing point. Find your breath here. You have the option to include a back bend chest opener if you bring your arms to cactus arms or goalpost arms. And then from here, you can find a gentle chest opener. You open up your chest toward the ceiling. Keep breathing. Focus on your feet, where your feet are grounding down. Alrighty, then you can release. You can release your hands, step your feet together. You can shake it out. You can come to the top of your mat, and you can go through your flow. You can meet us in down dog if you want to. So you inhale your arms out and up. Find a gentle back bend. And then exhale, swan dive down to fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step it back to plank. On your next exhale, you can lower down. Inhale, chest opener. And exhale, downward facing dog. Okay. From here, you can let your right leg fly. So you extend your right leg behind you. This time you can curl your knee into your chest and plant your knee in between your hands. This time, you can plant your foot in between your hands, and we're just gonna stay right here. Sorry about that. So you can plant your foot and find yourself in a low lunge position. So you can extend your left leg long behind you. You have the option to stay up on your toes, on your left toes behind you, or you have the option to gently lower your left knee down to the mat behind you, which is a deeper hip stretch. We're just gonna stay here for a few rounds of breath. From here, you have the option to bring both hands to the inside of your right foot. You can look down for a neutral neck. Notice your shoulders. See if you can slide the backs of your shoulders down your back. Maybe even bend your elbows a little. As you breathe into your hips, you have the option to come onto the outside edge of your front foot for a moment. Slightly different stretch. One last good moment here. And then from here, you can frame your foot with your hands and then walk your hands back. We'll do monkey pose as you straighten your right leg in front of you for a fold. You can stay right here. You can lean your hips back as you gently fold forward. You can always keep a bend in your knee. You can point your toes or you can flex your foot up, either way. You can nod your head, yes and no. Alrighty, when you're ready, you can begin to release as you come back to your lunge for a moment. Frame your foot with your hands, tuck your left toes behind you, lift back up off that knee, and gently return to your downward dog. You can pedal it out. And then you can let your left leg fly. You can curl your left knee into your chest. Plant your left knee in between your hands. And find yourself in a low lunge position, this time with your left foot in front. You can look down at your foot for a neutral neck. You can extend your right leg long behind you. You can tuck your toes, or you have the option to gently release your right knee down to the mat. You have the option to bring both hands inside of your left foot. You have the option to come onto the outside edge of your left foot for a moment. So you look down, keep breathing. And then you can frame your foot with your hands, and then you can walk your hands back. Find yourself in monkey pose on this side with your left leg long in front. You can lean back, you can find a gentle fold. You can nod your head, yes and no. As you find your breath, use those exhales to lower yourself down just a little bit further, if that feels okay. All right, when you're ready, you can return to your lunge for a moment. You can frame your foot with your hands, tuck your toes behind you, rise back up and lift back to your downward facing dog. You can walk your feet. All right, and then you can bend your knees, look at the space between your hands, and hop or step forward to a forward fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive up to standing. And then you can release your arms down to your sides. From here, we'll take a wide-legged position. So you can step your feet wide on your mat. Make sure your toes are parallel to each other. And then bring your toes in, your heels out like your pigeon toe, just slightly to help protect your knees. You find a micro bend in your knees. Now we'll do our wide-legged fold. So you inhale your arms up, reach up tall. And then exhale, fold gently with a nice bend in your knees. You can nod your head, yes and no. So you find your breath, use your exhales to lower down. Then you can place your hands on your hips, bend your knees, and with a flat back, rise up to standing. From here, we'll do a quick warrior two sequence. So you can start by pivoting your right toes out 90 degrees. You bend your right knee. You stack your right knee over your heel or behind. Then you can extend your arms wide and look over your right fingers. You can always flip your palms up for a more shoulder-friendly version. So you think about lifting up tall with a strong core. Sometimes when we're tired, we lean forward and we squish this front hip. Instead, see if you can lift up with a strong core. You bend into that right knee. Nice deep bend. One last good moment here on this warrior two. Alrighty, you can release your arms back in. You can pivot your toes back in. We'll take a fold in between. So inhale your arms out and up. Exhale, fold gently. You can nod your head, yes and no. We'll do a quick twist while we're down here. If you want, you can plant your left hand right underneath your nose on the ground. And then inhale, reach your right arm up and overhead for a capital letter T. And also you can step your left hand out wider, out to the left to help you twist deeper if you want. Then look up, keep breathing. And exhale, release back down to center. This time we'll switch. You can plant your right hand down Inhale your left arm up and overhead. Maybe look up. Keep breathing. And exhale, release back down to center. Bend your knees, place your hands on your hips, and with a straight back, rise up. Now we'll do warrior two on the other side. So you can pivot your left toes out 90 degrees. So you bend into your left knee. So you stack your left knee right over your ankle or behind. And then you can extend your arms wide and look over your left fingers. So you think about grounding down through the outside of your right foot. So you keep that right hip opening out wide. So you lift up with a strong core. Find your breath. Find your strength. Find your stillness. One last good moment here in your warrior two. You can bend into that left knee maybe a little deeper. Lift up with a strong core. Lift up through the crown of your head. Maybe find a slight smile. Alrighty. And then you can release. You can bring your arms back in. You can pivot your toes back in. We'll take one more fold. You have the option to include a shoulder stretch if you want to, by clasping opposite elbows behind your back, or you can hold your hands together, or you can just do normal arms. Either way is fine. On your next inhale, reach up tall through your spine. Exhale, fold gently. Maybe find a shoulder stretch, if that's okay. Bend your knees for this one. Nod your head. Find your breath. Alrighty, when you're ready, you can gently release. You can release your hands. You can step your feet together. You can come to the top of your mat. We'll finish our standing up portion of class tonight with dancer pose. You can do a quad stretch. If that's good for you, you can stay right there in a quad stretch. You can always hold on to something. If you need to hold on to the wall or something next to you for balance, what we're going to do is bring your weight and your grounding into your left leg. And then find a quad stretch if you hold on to your right foot with your right hand. Traditionally, you hold on to the inside of your foot, but whatever is good for you. You can stay right here. So you think about pushing down through your knee, so your knee is traveling down as your foot is traveling up. You can stay right here. You can lift your left arm up overhead. And then if you want, you have the option to find dancer pose. You pivot at the hips. Maybe kick your right foot into your right hand. So you find your gazing point. Alrighty, when you're ready, you can release gently all the way back to standing. You can shake it out. We'll do the other side. So you can begin to bring your weight and your grounding into your right leg. So you find a quad stretch with your left leg as you hold onto your left foot with your left hand this time. You can always hold on to something for balance. You can stay right here, pull that foot up, push that knee down and in. Alrighty, if you want, you can lift your right arm up overhead, maybe pivot at the hips. You kick your foot into your hand. Keep breathing. Find your gazing point. And then when you're ready, you can release, you can come back to standing. You can shake it out. All right. From here, we'll go through our flow. So you can meet us in down dog if you want. You inhale your arms out and up. Exhale, swan dive down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step it back to plank, or meet us in down dog. Then on your next exhale, lower down. Inhale, chest opener. And exhale, tuck your toes, downward facing dog. Maybe step your feet in about an inch. After all those folds we've done, then you can walk it out, pedal it out. Alrighty. From here, you can drop your knees down to the mat and find your child's pose. So you can bring your knees down to the mat, your hips to your heels, and then your forehead down. You can bring your hands in front of you, or you can reach back behind you for your feet. Alrighty. From here, you can find yourself in a kneeling position. We'll do a quick ankle stretch or shin stretch. If you hold on to your left knee with your left hand underneath your knee and just gently pull your left knee up off the mat as much as feels good. You might feel a slight stretch in your ankle, the top of your foot. You can adjust the intensity of this stretch by how much you lean into your left toes. Then you can release your knee back down. You can try the other side. If you hold onto your right knee with your right hand and gently pull your right knee up off the mat. You can lean into your right toes if you want to. And then you can lower your knee back down. We'll do one last stretch if you want. You can flip your toes underneath you for a kneeling position with your toes curled underneath. Make sure your pinky toes feel okay and they're going the same direction as everyone else. And then find yourself in a high kneeling position. You can bring your hands to heart center. You can find a toe balance if you want for a moment. If you balance your shoulders over your hips, over your heels. Alrighty, and you can release, you can bring your hands down to the mat. And then from here, you can extend both of your legs long and wide on the mat. You can wobble out your knees. You can point and flex your feet. Do a few ankle circles. Stretch your ankles and your feet. From here, we're going to do a cow face pose, which is a hip stretch. So you can start by bringing your right knee down in front of you. So your knee is pointing right in front of you like an arrow, and your left foot is coming down to the side to your left hip. Then you can walk your right foot around to the other side. So you can stack your knees vertically on top of each other as much as feels good for you. So your feet are on opposite sides of your hips, and then you can sit tall for a cow face pose. You can find a gentle fold while you're here if you want to gently walk your fingertips out in front of you. You can walk your hands to either side. You can walk your hands over to the left. Then you can walk your hands over to the right. You can do a chest opener while you're here. If you want to walk your hands behind you, maybe look up to shine your chest up and forward. Take a nice round of breath. Alrighty, then from here, we can release. So you can bring unwind yourself back out, and then we'll switch sides. So now you can bring your left knee down to the mat in front of you, and then you can walk your right foot around to the opposite side. So both of your feet find your way to the hips on either side, or you can always keep your foot planted to the side, whatever feels good for you. The goal is to get your knees kind of close together in front of you. Then you can sit tall, take an inhale. You can do a gentle fold if you want. You can walk your fingertips out in front of you. You can go side to side. You can walk your hands over to the left and to the right. You can do a chest opener if you'd like to from here. If you sit tall, bring your hands behind you for support. Maybe open up your chest, maybe look up. Take an inhale. Okay, from here you can release, you can unwind yourself. You can bring your legs long in front of you. You can wobble out your knees. You can point and flex, do a few more ankle circles in both directions. Alrighty. From here, you can rock side to side for a moment as you grow tall, as you sit tall here. And then flex both of your feet. Plant both of your hands down to your sides for your staff pose as you sit tall. Now we'll take a fold. So you inhale your arms up overhead, reach up tall. And then exhale, fold gently. You can always keep a bend in your knees. You can tuck your chin. Alrighty, then you can release. From here we'll do our twists. So you can bend your right knee, plant your right foot, sit tall, take an inhale. Exhale, twist to the right. Plant your right hand behind you. Look over your right shoulder. So you keep your core engaged to protect your spine. So you inhale, engage your core, lift up tall through the crown of your head. Exhale, twist. Alrighty, then you can release back to center. You can take a gentle counter stretch to the other side if you want to. Then you can bring your legs back down. We'll take a fold in between. When you're ready, take an inhale, your arms up overhead. And then exhale, fold gently. You can keep a bend in your knees. You can intentionally bend your knees, which helps you stretch your spine. So you take a nice round of breath, tuck your chin. Alrighty. Then you can release back up to seated. We'll twist on the other side. So you bend your left knee, plant your left foot. Take an inhale, sit tall. Exhale, twist to the left. Plant your left hand and look over your left shoulder. As you sit tall, keep your core strong. Keep breathing. Alrighty, then you can release back to center. You can take a gentle counter stretch to the other side. And then we'll do one last fold. So you extend your legs long in front. You can do a bent knee fold if you want to, either way. So you inhale your arms up tall. Exhale, fold gently. One last forward fold for tonight's practice. And you can begin to release. So you walk your hands back up. Now we'll do our cobbler's pose, bound angle. As you bring your feet together and your knees wide, so you hold onto your ankles and sit tall. So you find your breath here. You can stay right here if this is good. Or you can find a fold. So you inhale, reach up tall, and then exhale, fold gently. You can walk your hands out in front of you. And then when you're ready, you can release back up to seated. And from here, you can plant both of your feet, bend both of your knees. You sit tall, nice straight spine. So you make a V shape with your legs and your torso here. We'll do our boat pose. Do a little bit of core. You can begin to lean back until you feel your core engage with a nice straight spine. You can stay here, or you can lift your feet up, your shins up parallel to the ground. You can release your arms if you want to. Just find a good spot for yourself to stay for about a few more moments. Keep breathing. All right, good job. Then you can bring your feet back down. Then you can release down to your back. We'll do some windshield wiper knees, so you can bring both of your knees down to the side. Then inhale your knees back up through center. Then down to the other side. You can go side to side at your own pace as you inhale center, exhale sides. Alrighty. And then from here, you can hug your knees into your chest as you flatten your spine down against the mat. You can bring your hands to your knees. You can move your knees back and forth like you're crawling. Or you can move your knees in little opposite circles from each other, which helps release the low back. From here, we'll do our inversion, do candlestick pose. So you can extend both of your legs straight up, 90 degrees. You can hold on to the backs of your knees for support. You can point and flex your feet. You can do some ankle circles in both directions. You can do wide legs. You can do plow or shoulder stand if that's in your practice. As you keep space between your chin and your chest. And when you're ready, you can begin to release as you hug your knees to your chest. Now we'll do figure 4. So you can bring your right ankle to your left thigh. So you make a figure 4 with your legs. Then you reach your hands to the back of your left knee or left thigh. And gently pull your left knee down toward your chest. Using your right hand, you can gently push your right knee out if that's okay. So you breathe into your hips. You can make it a more active stretch if you want to straighten your left leg up and lift your head and shoulders, but only if you want to. Alrighty, one last good moment here, and then you can release, and we'll switch. So you can bring your left ankle to your right thigh. So you make a figure four with your legs and reach your hands through to the back of your right thigh as you pull your right knee down toward your chest. You can make it a more active stretch if you want to. Straighten your right leg if you want. You can use your left hand against your left knee to push your knee out. So you breathe into your hips. Alrighty, then you can release. So you hug your knees to your chest. Now we'll do happy baby pose as you hold onto the bottoms of your feet from the outside edges of your feet. Then you can rock side to side gently. And then from here you can touch your feet together for a reclined bound angle. You can hold on to your heels from the bottom. You can touch your feet to your head for a yoga trick. And then you can release as you hug your knees to your chest. We'll do one last pose. So you can hold on to your right knee and extend your left leg down long. We'll do our twist. So you hold onto your right knee for a moment. And then when you're ready, you can guide your knee across your body down to the left. And maybe look to the right. So you breathe into this twist. So you release down with each exhale. So you find a nice natural pace of breath and settle into your twist for a few more moments. You can always straighten your right leg for a deeper twist. Alrighty. You can begin to release. So you come back to center. So you hug both your knees to your chest. This time, hold on to your left knee. Extend your right leg down long. So you give your left knee a nice little squeeze. And then you can find your twist. So you guide your knee across your body down to the right. And then maybe look to the left. You find a nice natural pace of breath. You have the option to straighten your left leg for a deeper twist. Alrighty. You can come back to center when you're ready. You can hug your knees to your chest. Feel free to take any other pose that you might like to take tonight. Maybe bridge. But when you're ready, you can extend both of your legs down long and wide. You can relax both of your arms down long. Relax your shoulders down. So you close your eyes and find a slight tuck in your chin. So you find a nice natural pace of breath for your Shavasana. We'll take about a 1-minute Shavasana. I will let you know when it is time to come back. So you take a few nice rounds of breath and allow yourself to absorb all the benefits from tonight's practice for yourself. Just take it all in. Alrighty, you can begin to wiggle your fingers or your toes. You can bend your knees. You can stretch your arms. You can roll to your side for the fetal position. And then when you're ready, you can make your way all the way back up to a comfortable seated position. You can sit tall. You can take one last deep round of breath and notice how you feel right now. My soul honors each of your souls. Namaste. Oh. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining me tonight. It was so lovely to have you all. Really appreciate you all taking the time, sharing your energy with me. It was so great to have you. I'll stop recording.